D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? And have I got a story for you? Also, down below, you can find the articles that I read to bring you this video. And you can read them and take it all in for yourself or whatever, or you can just watch this video where I break it down for you, and then you go about your way. Now, before I get started, I want to say two things. The first one is that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine always get pushed to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So Ruby Rose has been in the news quite a bit this week. Let me tell you what. So she went, after she had got let go, she got fired. I did a video about it. If you really want to check it out, you can check it out up in the iCard section, but she had got fired from Batwoman. She said she left, and they said she had left on her own volition or whatnot, but she didn't. And that's come out this week or whatnot. But she said she would come back, to Batwoman. She would play Batwoman again, but they didn't want her back. And we'll get into that a little bit later on after I go through some of these Instagram posts. But then she got recast, and I'm pretty sure she was pissed and everything, because then she came out with all these Instagram stories, and she was fired. So she started off and she's like, enough is enough. And she wrote, she was talking to Caroline Dries and Greg Berlanti and Berlanti Productions and Sarah Sketcher. And she says, I'm going to tell the world what really happened on that set. And first off, I just want to say, and a lot of people commented on Twitter about this, but the font she used for this was ridiculous. I'm on the side of, I was all like, what word is that? And people on Twitter were being like so pretentious, being all like, what? You don't know how to read cursive? Like, oh, I do believe we should go back to the gold standard and all that crap. And I'm all like, no, I can read cursive, but this font sucks. I'm sorry. Like, if you look at this first one, it says, Dear CW. I thought it was an M. I thought the C part was an M because it does that weird like connection thing. And I'm all like, look at this Instagram post. Like, it's so hard to read. So then she goes on to say, Peter Roth, you are first up. You are chapter 1. Not sure if you left after getting promoted to the highest position because you couldn't stop making young women steam your pants around your crotch while you were still wearing said pants, or if you left after putting a private investigator on me who you fired as soon as the report didn't fit your narrative. Either way, when it comes to you, there's already an army waiting for you. So first off, I just want to say, she's definitely like me tooing him. And for personally, I don't know why he would have, if he did, I'm just saying, like, this is all allegedly because we don't know if any of this is true. And I will go over some stuff also later on about some employees posting on Reddit and stuff. But I just want to say that if Peter Roth, if he did have women steaming I don't see why he would have them steam his pants while he was wearing them. If you've ever steamed your clothing, it's not, you don't want to do it while you're wearing them. That's weird. And I'm uncomfortable because the steam can get kind of hot if you've got it on the high heat or whatever. So anyway, there's that. And then he did, from what I understand, he put in a private investigator after she had gotten fired. And that was because she got her. Now, I don't know how much of this is true. I'm just telling you what I've read online and everything, but apparently she got hurt offset. Caroline Dry says it was during yoga, but she says she doesn't do yoga, and we'll get into that a little bit. But I heard it was during a skiing accident, and she got hurt offset, and she didn't have insurance. So then so instead of, having to pay for it all herself, she said she got hurt on set. And Warner Brothers, that was like their last straw, because from Reddit, go read Reddit. I'll leave links in the description down below. But employees were saying she was a nightmare on set. Some people saying that it was dangerous on set at times, and I'm not saying that that's not true, because it sounds like stuff is in third story stuff on sets goes on, and that's why IATSE is protesting and going to possibly go on strike. But it sounds like she might have got injured and then tried to blame the studio so she didn't have to pay for it and she could do that. So then he put an investigator on, and obviously he didn't find anything out. So then she went on to share a couple videos of doctors' offices pertaining to her neck injury, and she suffered. Then talking about how she had suffered as being Batwoman, and it says in one post, it says, to everyone who said I was too stiff on Batwoman, imagine going back to work 10 days after this. 10 days. Like, like she really put the emphasis on the days, like the days and everything. The whole crew and cast would be fired, and I'd let everyone down because Peter Roth said he wouldn't recast, and I just lost the studio millions by getting injured on his set. That is the B1 who cost so many people their jobs. Yeah, I really wish she yeah, okay. So yeah, so she went on to I love, and this font is the worst. Yeah, okay. Instead of spending half a day to rewrite me out for a few weeks to heal. Now, I just have to say, you can't write her out of the show like that. That's not how it works. And then she wrote in this one, she said, cut to 3 weeks later after this video, it's worse than abnormal. This was diagnosed years ago on set, but if I got an x-ray, we would make our day. I have, oh goodness, I can't read all of this. She changes up she has, on top of that, I have enough documentation to make a 1-hour documentary. Pray tell, what else would you like me to share? The broken neck or the broken rib split in two, and the tumor. Like, she got a tumor from this. Like, she got a tumor from the set of Batwoman. Like, that sounds very I'm sorry. I have a hard time to believing that a studio set gave you a tumor. Like, it's not a tumor. Okay. So there's that. Now I want to go to the very last post that she posted. And I want to just read it to you. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'm trying to pull this thing up because this is all over the place. Okay. So she writes, and this last one she writes, and there's another video about her going to Comic-Con, but I mean, it's like whatever. So she says in this last post, she says, in closing, please, to my dear fans, stop asking if I will return to that awful show. I wouldn't return for any amount of money, nor if a gun were to my head, nor did I quit. I do not quit. They ruined Kate Kane and they destroyed Batwoman, not me. Now that's true. I've covered this show, and I've said it from day one. This show's writing is the worst. I'm totally on her side with that. It sucks, especially these last 2 seasons. I mean, season 1, it sucked, but I was like, okay, there's some stuff that we can work with here to fix it. But then after she got fired and they started season 2, I was like, oh, there's no fixing this. This sucks. It truly sucks. So then she goes, I followed orders, and if I wanted to stay, I was going to have to sign my rights away. A crew member got 3rd-degree burns over his whole body, and we were given no therapy after witnessing his skin fall off his face. But I was the only one who sent him flowers and cards, and then we're told we had to do a sex scene without a minute to process. We lost 2 stunt doubles. I got cut in the face so close to my eye in a stunt I could have been blind. A woman was left quadriplegic, and they tried to blame it on her being on her phone. So much so, CW didn't even help her to start with because they needed to investigate. So she had to do a GoFundMe. She's a PA. They work via phones. Her accident occurred because our show refused to shut down when everyone else did because of COVID. Now, I want to say one real quick thing about this portion of her story is that I could not find a story about a man being burned on the set of Batwoman. Now, granted, I only Googled and I only looked through the first 3 pages and I couldn't find anything. The quadriplegic story, however, I could find a story on that. And a woman did get, paralyzed, and it was reported in the news. However, this 3rd-degree burn story, I couldn't find anything on it. So I have no idea if she's telling the truth or if she made this up. And we'll go over Warner Brothers and their response to this as soon as we're done with this. So then she goes on. Caroline Dries has no heart and wanted us to finish the season throughout the pandemic. And I told her it was a bad idea. It was a bad idea because it was freaking awful. I told her everyone was too distracted, constantly checking COVID updates, checking on Friends, and seeing Riverdale, The Flash, and Supergirl shut down already. I felt something bad would happen, and Dries maybe visited the set 4 times in a year. Unheard of. Now, I just want to say real quick, Caroline Dries is a vomitous human being. I do not like her. She sucks at everything she does. This show sucks. She sucks. I hope she gets fired. I do not like her at all. I can tell you right now, the whole visiting the set thing, 100% true. People that have worked on the set said that that's true, that she does not come to set. And when she does, it's rarely, because she's in California writing and stuff. This story is long. So she sucks. Caroline Dries sucks. I also want to say that them doing not providing therapy for people if they did see that man burn to death is atrocious. If I saw someone almost die, I would be that would be traumatizing for me. So I would have to seek somebody to talk to so I could process that. So then let's see. So like I said, she did do the GoFundMe page for that quadriplegic woman. And then she did say that it finally did shut down during the pandemic. And it was because of the incident with the woman being paralyzed. And that was, I believe her name was Amanda Smith. And then she also discussed her co-star Dougray Scott, and she said Dougray Scott heard a female stunt double. He yelled like a little bitch at women and was a nightmare. He left when he wanted and arrived when he wanted and abused women. And in turn, as a lead of a show, I sent an email out asking for a no yelling policy. They declined. Now, I just want to say, that's weird. A no yelling policy. Get the F out of here. Like, nobody's listening to your no yelling policy. People are people and they have faults and everything. Now, Dougray Scott has responded to this and he pretty much said that that's a lie and everything. And I've heard that Dougray Scott one time did freak out a little bit because the woman that plays Mary was late one time, so he was upset about that. I also heard that while on set, he was supposed to play Wolverine in the original X-Men movie, but he had to bail because of scheduling conflicts. They had to do reshoots for Mission Impossible 2, horrible movie. But he is very bitter about not being able to play Wolverine, which I totally get. But at the same time, I'm all like, you got to move on, buddy. You got to move on. So I'm not going to go into too much else about this because I don't, because I do want to move on with this video. But one thing, but the couple of things that I do want to talk about is I do want to talk about Warner Brothers' statement. Okay, so they put out a statement, and I'm putting up here. It says, despite the revisionist history that Ruby Rose is now sharing online aimed at the producers, the cast and crew, the network, and the studio, the truth is that Warner Brothers Television had decided not to exercise its option to engage Ruby for season 2 or Batwoman based on multiple complaints about workplace behavior that were extensively reviewed and handled privately out of respect for all concerned. And what they're talking about is that like I said, She was a nightmare on set, from what I understand. She wouldn't do her own stunts. And when I say she wouldn't do her own stunts, she wouldn't even go up and down a flight of stairs. Like, she wouldn't even run up and down a flight of stairs. Like, she would have her stunt person do that kind of stuff. So she was being totally drama all the way around. Like, it's crazy. And it's so obnoxious. Like, people like that act like this. Now, granted, I do want them to be safe, but like I said. So then a lot of people were talking to Cameron Johnson, who plays Lucas Fox on that show. So he put out a tweet, right? And it says, Bat fam, I couldn't go the whole day without saying something. I love y'all. Don't think I haven't seen all the love today. But yeah, fam, she was fired. And it is very hard to be fired when you're the lead. Imagine what you have to do for that to happen. And then he also said, since it was claimed she walked away last year, I'm sure some of you may be pretty confused or upset. And even more so, that a lot of lies were spread today because I think he meant because now we have a lot of great souls working on this show, and none of this changes that from the top to the bottom. Now, like I said, I also heard that this guy is a sweetheart on set, and one time Ruby Rose, he sat around waiting for her for 3 hours on set because they were supposed to do a scene together, and he sat around for 3 hours, was completely nice about it. And after the 3 hours, he was like, listen, I've got an appointment I have to go to. I can't sit around waiting for her any longer. And he left, which is nicer than what I would have done, because I'm telling you right now, I wait for like 10 minutes on somebody and I'm already mad. Like, I'm all like, no, you're wasting my time and I can't do this with you anymore. Like, I'm mad now. You suck. So that was my very long second story, you guys. And I'm sorry I took so long on it, but I really wanted to cover it extensively and just talk about some stuff, give my opinions. I don't think Ruby Rose is lying, but I don't think she's being 100% truthful. I think she is lying about some things. And I hate to say that because I do think that what goes on a set, there is a lot of safety issues, and we're about to get into one big safety issue. But like I said, I honestly don't think that she's being 100% honest. And I know that she wasn't hurt on set at least once. She was hurt off set and tried to commit fraud. And that was the last straw, and CW had to get rid of her for that. Just tell me what you guys think about this. How do you feel about the Ruby Rose situation? Like, do you think she's 100% being honest, or do you think she kind of like, over exaggerated some things? Have you read all the Reddit posts from crew members and staff that have worked on Batwoman and do work on Batwoman? And then how do you feel about, do you think CW, or do you think Ruby Rose is 100% correct and CW are monsters? They are kind of monsters a little bit, but I'm sorry to bum you out, guys. Go ahead and tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys next week. You guys have a good week. Bye.